Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by this bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by this bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first week ballin', trying to get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decisions that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing cheese. And them same niggas that be around there won't see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn. Me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happened, the next man ain't getting nothing. Fade to the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve, ain't got no business on my block, now bitch, you're getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my pockets, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by this bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by this bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Them flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now, I'm on a mission. I'm giving you 2 for 20, got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga, you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little dicks and she gon' be alright. Forever tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. It's a little fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Lurking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, Dr. Jaco, Mr. High come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep.
That flip shit and Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde come out. Yes, sir. Big salute to all my dog lovers out there, man. All the pet lovers across the world. Take care of them animals, doing what they gotta do. Doing what they gotta do, man. Big salute to all them folk down in the chat and everybody watching the video from afar. You know, that was Sandman and Scorpion, them little puppies that was on the end of my intro. Sandman and Scorpion. That was one of the puppies right there. You looking at Sandman. He got a hell of a lot bigger since the intro of that video, haven't he? You know, that's Meliolo and Fletcher, top and bottom. And today's topic to start this video off today, my brothers and sisters, I got a question for you. Is the RedBoy Jocko dogs overrated? You know, are they overrated? Drop down in the comments, drop down in the chat. Let me know what you think. It's your boy K9s giving it to them the way I always do. Fair and unbiased. You know, raw and uncut. Some gonna like it and some ain't. We just gotta talk about it. Are they overrated? You know. Now I will say this. All RedBoy Jocko are not the same. All RedBoy Jocko dogs are not the same. You know, and we get that confused sometimes. We think because we add some RedBoy Jocko into our program, we got the same RedBoy Jocko your man got, or your partner got, or your person that you seeing on Facebook got or YouTube or whatever. It don't work like that. You know, it's different strains of that thing. All RedBoy Jocko don't produce the same. All RedBoy Jocko don't perform the same. All RedBoy Jocko structure not the same. You know, you gotta just it just depends on what you're looking for, knowing what you're looking for, and researching your line, knowing your line and what you're running. You know, that's why I take pride in saying, you know, these big John dogs are made are yellow dogs without the Mayday in it. You know, it's hard to find. You can say what you want to say. I'm talking about a family. I ain't talking about one or two dogs scattered out throughout the country. I'm talking about it's hard to find a family of dogs coming down off yellow, strictly yellow, don't got no other outs in it without having that Mayday in it. It's super hard. That's why that's why I stand on the breed that I'm running, the line that I'm running, you know, because I know what it is. I know what it's coming from, you know. Like I always say, a one on a car. This car ain't passed down to all these hands, and I'm getting it after the 15th man. No, this a one on a car. And if you want to be exact to this thing, it's a three on a car. If you go all the way back to Mr. Mayfield, Mr. Chavis, Big John, and me, three on a car before I got it. That's all right saying it's 50 years old. That's damn good. Give me a Caprice. 50 years old, ain't number three people on it, you know. But it just is what it is. I just, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out where my brothers and sisters at out here, man. Uh, what about them Red Boy Jocko dogs? Are they overrated, or you think they deserve the recognition or deserve the talk that they get? You know, the Red Boy Jocko haters gonna say no anyway. I'm just saying, be fair and unbiased. Be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, in my opinion, you know, I think the Red Boy Jocko dogs are overrated. You know, because I think people depend too much on uh them old dogs and not the modern day what they got in their hand, you know, or what was accumulated from the more recent breedings. You know what I'm saying? I think we put too much uh dependency on that pedigree saying grand champion yellow in it, and you don't really possess the traits from the dog. You know, and you really don't know what you're looking for at the end of the day. So that's what, you know, a lot of that yellow talk on my channel is gonna help brothers understand there's a difference in this yellow stuff. You know, you had plenty dogs that came off of Grand Champion Yellow during his days, you know, but a lot of them dogs faded away. A lot of them dogs didn't produce as much. A lot of them dogs did not create families, you know. And like I said before, because you see one dog in the pedigree, is not is not what I'm talking about. Because you see one or two yellow dogs in the pedigree is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a family that goes straight back. You know, like I said before, this dog that you're looking at, Scorpion, he has no outs in him until you go back to Mountain Man's Claire Cisco. No outs in him. Let me show you that pair real quick before we move on. Okay. Now, no outs. And I done did the trace down in previous videos, all the way back to Mountain Man Claire Cisco. And it's one termite breeding in there, and you can't count termite as an out because he coming off Dan, who coming off Jocko, you know. And you know, when you look at this dog right here, brother and sister breeding, him and all of his little mates, except for YSL. YSL, the only one that may be the size of Mellow Yellow or Fletcher. You know, but the mother puppies, they're all bigger than the mother and the father. You know, you see them ears there? Them ain't Mellow Yellow ears. Them ain't Fletcher ears. The dog that you looking at, but that's Mellow Yellow and Fletcher son. But them ears don't come from mellow yellow neither, Fletcher. Them ears come a long way down the line. You know, I know them ears when I see them. No Mayday in it. A lot of y'all brothers, you would look directly at that dog if you didn't know the pedigree and didn't know, like if I never had the dog up and showing you the dog or anything, and you didn't know what I was running, you would say that was a Mayday dog just off the strength of looking at his ears. You'll think that was a Mayday dog. Like I said, all yellow, no Mayday. And had he no disrespect to Mayday because he is a great dog, great producing dog. Great producing dog. And I use his blood in my program. I wasn't fond on the blood back in the days, you know, but you live and you learn. You find out and you run across great dogs. And a great dog is a great dog. No matter how he bred. A great dog is a great dog, you know. Now, what I'm about to do right here, you know, because I spoke a little bit about the Red Lady John Stone breeding, that I was trying to make. Well, going to make in a few days.
Here they go. Here they go.
Red Lady John Stone. John Stone is a big John dog. Bring back the Red Lady who's a Mayday dog. And like I said, I should have named her the Rooter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all she do, man. Right now, it's a little kittens over there in the woods that the mama cat got the kittens over there in the woods, and she see them. So she's tearing up the roots out the ground, and she'll try to get to them all day. She do that when she see turtles. I had to stop her from barking at a rock one day. She thought a rock was a turtle, and I ain't gonna lie, it kind of looked like a turtle the way it's laying down. You know, it was just a black rock on the ground, nice sized rock. She thought it was a turtle because I did catch her barking at a turtle one day, and she sat there and barked at it, so I had to go move the turtle because the turtle gonna move slow. But yeah, this Red Boy Jocko Mayday uh Big John crossing. And I'm gonna show you the pedigree when I'm done. We're gonna get into the pedigree and just look at the pedigree and some of my future breedings, the way I want it to look if I do the breedings, the way I'm thinking about right now, you know. And she's a great producing dog. She produced dogs with great bone structure, great attitude, great attitude. And like I said, I'll be
Red Lady.
breeding her in the next day or so. I'll give y'all that video with her and
Red
John
Ladies.
Stone. This is JD Hogg's mother and City Boy's Chainsaw. And I think he won Dog of the Month or Dog of the Week, Dog of the Month over there with the Samurai Kennel digital dog show and dog rankings throughout the weeks. But she producing dogs that produce good dogs. So I'm looking for some good things off of her. The breeding that I did with her last time with her and Fletcher turned out great. Puppies turned out great. They looking real good right now. You know, all we can do, man, is take care of these dogs. Like I said, I'm gonna let y'all check the pedigrees out. We specialize in that yellow stuff. We specialize in that real yellow, not the bootleg. Our yellow dogs come off yellow when he was living. We don't got yellow dogs that come off yellow when he passed away. We're not gonna go. We're not. Some dogs we understand that sperm out here for, but it wasn't no sperm for no yellow. I don't know who maybe have y'all brothers food, but it wasn't no sperm for no yellow. That's why I say we got real yellow dogs, along with a lot of other people across this country. You know, Day a real yellow dog. Big John, a real yellow dog. Bozak, a real yellow dog. You know, a lot of them are real yellow dogs.
Red Lady. Let's go.
But yeah, I'm looking for some great things out of this, man. RedBoy Jocko, Bolio. Now, let's go back to this ped and talk a little bit of ped talk. Why I want this breeding to be in the next couple years. You know, now let me. This is the bitch you just saw just now on the video. This is her pair. You know, for brothers who like to do weight pull, she produced great dogs, great structure for the weight pull conformation. Brothers who like just conformation shows, she'll produce you some great dogs. Um, the treadmill with the treadmill, you know, I think she'll produce some great ones. A lot of her dogs are real solid dogs, though, for the most part. They do be athletic, though. They do be athletic, but a lot of them be real good and solid. So I'm not sure exactly how her dogs would do as far as wall climbing, you know, but the only way to really know is to put them in it. And I haven't did it yet, so I can't knock them, in that particular thing. But this is Red Lady right here, and this is her pet. Now, this is the breedings that I'm looking to make. Okay, this is the breeding with her and John Stone. So it's Big John on the top, Mayday on the bottom. And everybody who knows Mayday know he brings his share of bolio into the process. You know, so we got your Big John on top, Mayday on the bottom. Now my thing is to take a puppy off this, and let me see, it's up here somewhere, right here. My thing is to take a puppy off this and breed back to Fletcher. You see, and now we got Big John on the top half plus 25% of the bottom half when you go to the fourth generation. And then we got 25% of the Mayday and Buck Dogs. Now, what I will say is Mayday brings yellow as well. So that yellow gonna go along with the Big John yellow. So the bolio is smaller than 25% when it comes to these dogs and these particular breedings that I'm looking for in the future. The bolio is so far down, it's still in there. It's still in there, but the percentages is so far down that, you know, another breeding is gonna be, way back. Now, what I'm saying that to say this is when I make these breedings, I'm not supposed to get a black dog from this breeding. There's no way in hell Bull Boy Bob should be popping back up this many years in this breeding that I just made. If you're looking at these dogs on this screen in front of you, all RedBoy Jocko, 75% in the fourth generation, all RedBoy Jocko. And then you got your 25% of RedBoy Jocko Bolio. You don't got a 25% of Bolio down there. You got a 25% of RedBoy Jocko and Bolio. So them two RedBoy Jackos gonna go together, and that Bolio gonna be your out. So if I breed one more time, you know, just imagine how far, you know, that out gonna be. That's why I say sometimes these colors, we gotta stick to reality. I shouldn't be getting no brindle dogs off this breeding, you know, from Fletcher and uh one of Red Lady and John Stone's puppies. I shouldn't be getting no brindle dogs from that, you know. It's just the traits of the dog, man, and what your dog should be doing and shouldn't be doing. You just gotta know it, and that's why I say yellow without the Mayday. You know what I'm saying? And big salute to them brothers that be hating on that Big John stuff all the time, man. Big John stuff being hated on since the beginning of the time. You know, what you can't stop, you might as well join it. A lot of y'all brothers, like I said before, you're $250 dog brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's all you ever want to spend on a dog. See, when we tell these stories about when we spent 250 on a dog, I keep telling y'all brothers, man, y'all mixing y'all times up with our times. When we spent 250 on a dog, it didn't mean we spent 250 in 2025. The value of 250 now, we spent 250 when the 250 value was a little bit higher. When 250 bought you more than what 250 will buy you now. No, 250 wasn't 250 back then. It was a little bit more. So if I spent 200 on a dog, it probably was equivalent to about 500 right now. of what people charging for, regular prices and stuff, and then people who charge a little lower, probably about 500. But at the end of the day, a lot of brothers just get that dog thing twisted, man. Just get that dog thing twisted. You know, I'm gonna say it like this: it's harder to find them yellow dogs without Mayday than it is to find red boy dogs without Bailey's Bingo. See, it's hard to find a red boy dog without Bailey's Bingo. I'm not saying they're not out there, but I'm saying when you see most of your red boy dogs, they got Bailey's Bingo in it somewhere. Hard to find them. Now that red man stuff that Tom Garner got, I don't really consider that coming from the red boy side of town. I don't really consider that, a dog that's carrying the red boy traits. That red man dog, in my opinion, do not carry the red boy traits that the red boy dogs carry, the Marlowe dogs carry, and the Bailey's Bingo dog and them dogs carry. You know, you can breed Bailey's Bingo. It don't even have to be a professional breeder. They can take them bingo dogs and breed them with something else. And you go show that dog to somebody, I don't care if it's black or brindle. And Bailey's and the red boy is gonna be one of the five names that they said this dog could be off of because of how he looked, just with them particular patterns, you know. And even when it comes to the Marlowe stuff, that stuff looks like the dogs when he breed down from the dogs. That red man dog don't throw dogs down that look like red boy stuff. So, I just say it like that, and everybody have their opinion, everybody have their taste of what they gonna deal with, you know. But like I said, yellow without the Mayday is hard to find. It's not, but so many families of yellow dogs out there, period, that don't got Mayday in it. And like I said, I'm not talking about one dog, two dogs, three dogs, maybe, off different dogs here and there. And you got five different owners, seven different owners of that car, bringing all different kind of yellow dogs. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about one family of dogs that been bred since yellow. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Now, it may work for me, you know, it may not. You know how the game go when it comes to these dogs. But at the end of the day, that's when it comes back to having time in with a dog. See, having time in don't mean your future is automatically planned. You still got to make certain correct decisions when it comes to your breeding program. But knowing your past can help you in the future. You know, you don't know the past. You just know what these brothers telling you in certain stories about this dog or certain stories about that dog. That's why I say start from where you're gonna start from and learn from then. Stick to something. Don't just be quick to get rid of something because of one simple flaw when it got a lot of more things that you like better about the dog. Don't be quick to get rid of a dog because your homeboy or homegirl don't like the dog. A lot of people, oh, you don't like it, I'm gonna get rid of them. You know, don't be quick to do all that. Now, one thing I want to say real quick while I'm thinking about it, everybody need to take caution. It's been a larger spike in rabies across the country, you know, and from what I read, the number one carrier of rabies in the United States right now is the skunk. So if the skunk is a animal that's populated in your area, be careful because they're said to be the highest carrier of rabies in these days. But we all got to be careful. Just in general around the country. It's that time of the year, and we haven't really heard a lot of talk about it over the past 15, 20 years. But a lot of animals. I'm gonna say like this right here. Over the past 5 years, you know, a lot of animals, rodents wise, been popping up with it. You know, And I want to say a dog in I want to say it was Nebraska tested positive for rabies, and that was one of the first dogs that tested positive in a long time. They keep track of it. It ain't, one thing about it, your dog may catch parvo, your dog may catch coccidius, he may get the mange, he may you making go out there and do all kind of illegal stuff with him, and he get cut all up and all this type of stuff, and you make him hide all that stuff. But when your dog catches rabies, that's gonna be something you ain't gonna be able to hide. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be something you're gonna call the authorities about. You know, you're not gonna let no dog with rabies just sit there and die on your yard, and you just not gonna let nobody know what's going on. For one, when that dog catch the rabies, from the symptoms, what they say the symptoms is, you probably end up calling a shelter or somebody to come pick them up because of the way they act. If your dog normally a playful dog, and then when you come out, he's acting crazy. Something done flipped out with him. Now, one thing I did research as well, once your dog starts showing symptoms of having rabies, he has to be put down. It's 100% put down rate from the shelters and the vets when your dog shows the first sign of having rabies. Now, if he comes in contact with an animal with rabies, say he unalives an animal, and now you got to go, take him to the vet. He done took an animal out, and you want to get him checked. They got no medication and stuff that they'll try to treat it, and they can save him at that point. But once he shows one sign of having rabies, they put some down. It's mandatory. It's mandatory that they put them down. So let's just try to do the right things with these dogs out here, man. And keep striving forward, like we always say. Now, let me touch on another point real quick. Another point real quick while we talking about Mayday. We look at, he got 17 pages, and White Tab got 17 pages. White Tab running the pack. It's almost impossible for anybody to do that now. And I'm talking about legally wise. 17 pages is a lot of breeding. Lot of breeding. You know, you would probably have to have like anywhere between 50 to 100 dogs on your yard, and then you probably have to breed one to two dogs all the time without breeding any more dogs to uh uh your whole 100 dogs on your yard. And look, even if you bred that dog, even if you bred, or say if I took Fletcher and I breed him, I got 100 dogs on my yard, and I bred him to each one of them dogs, you know, for 3 years straight. So that's, we only gonna breed them one time a year to each one of them dogs for 3 years straight, and that's 100 dogs. So each year we getting what? Uh, if I got 100 and I'm breeding him, so each year that'll be 300 dogs that I have to put on online ped, right? That'd be 300 dogs after I make them breedings. That still won't be 17 pages. Them dogs got 800 and some breedings, 849 some breedings. So like I said, man, that kind of stuff, that old days, we take all that stuff for granted, but a lot of that stuff is unreachable goals now. And like I said, if you reached it, you will never reach it doing illegal things with these pit bulls. Only way you can be close to reaching that if you're doing all the way legitimate with these dogs, doing the right things with these dogs, breeding great dogs, and giving people great product, and product that people don't have to worry about getting in trouble with. That's the only way, and you still gonna have a hard time. I can't even imagine. We all know that Marlin Dark Dynasty's Hawk is one of the most famous bull breed dogs in the world. Was, until he passed away. RP the Hawk was one of the most. And I bet you he don't got 17 pages worth of breedings. And we know that Marlin bred that dog. Bet you he don't got 17 pages. So we can look at that history, man, and just admire it from a distance. It was what it was. Those was the good old days. Those was the good old days, man. And that don't mean brothers can't make millions off the program. Brothers can make millions of dollars off your dog program. That don't got nothing to do with them 17 breedings, 17 pages worth of breedings. You just imagine how much money he would make right now today if you take 17 pages worth of breedings and you exclude the yard breedings. You know, if you take out the ones we did on yard and only the breedings that we did to other people dogs, and we put the average stud fee on these breedings, you know, just the breedings alone, these brothers will be millionaires. Just off the breedings alone, not even raising my pups, selling the breedings, you know. But that's what makes the pit bull terrier such a great dog over a lot of breeds, man, because we got so much history with these dogs. And if you know how to do the right things with these dogs in modern day time, you can sit back and, like I said, admire the past of the breed. Dang, they did it like that. And they were wilding out with them dogs. They was wilding out with them. But like I said, man, do y'all think them Red Boy Jocko dogs is overrated? Hey, you done got my answer already. A big fat yes. Because we run to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. We think we can get Red Boy Jocko, and our yard is saved. Red Boy Jocko gonna save our yard and make the complete package of what we got, and we want to throw that pig up there. And because it got, like I said, because it got them dead, excuse my French, because it got them yellow dogs that was born when yellow was unalive. Yeah, now I'm gonna tell you right now, Mayday is up there on that Wilt Chamberlain list. But I'm tell you right now, Yellow was producing dogs. Yellow Ghost was producing dogs. Yellow, the only dog that had a actual ghost with sperm in him, that he can still produce dogs. The ghost of Yellow. That's what we're gonna start calling them. The bootleg Yellow and the ghost of Yellow dogs. You know, they ain't off Yellow, but they off the ghost. Hey, yeah, y'all hit that like button up. Thanks to everybody that's down in that chat, man. It's just a little bit of the dog talk, like we always do for my brothers and sisters, man. You know, trying to make sure, man, brothers don't go running them Red Boy Jocko dogs thinking they're getting a Superman, thinking you're getting a Captain America, and then when you get a flunky, like we say, you running there trying to get a Charlotte, like Geico Charlotte. You trying to get you a Charlotte, but you got a flunky, you know? Man, that dog Charlotte is a damn good looking dog. I don't got a picture on online peds. You know, I don't got that picture up there, but I'm about to edit that edit his ped and put that picture up there, man. I'ma use that picture, brother, on some kind of publication that I'm gonna do in the future. Whether it's one of my next books, I'm gonna use that picture, man. That's a great picture. That's $1 million picture that you took. You know what I'm saying, with old Charlotte there. You know, and this is Charlotte's grandmother on the picture that you're looking at on the screen. This is her grandmother. And you can see where she get it from. You can see where she get it from. You know, uh, and this dog right here, I say she looks as in color and a little bit of her face remind me of the buck dogs, but her body structure is strictly Mayday. She got a Mayday frame, like Mayday himself, not Barracuda, but Mayday himself. Damien and all them dogs, they come off Mayday, but she got that structure. And it happens like that sometimes. This dog can be closer to the dog, but one of his grandkids can actually look like the dog. And that comes from good breeding. That comes from knowing the genetics, knowing the dogs, you know what I'm saying? And not just breeding for anything, you know, not just breeding for anything. And like I said, when we go back right here on this, let's see, we in Red Lady Ped. When we go back to, let me, it's one of these females. It ain't yellow girl. Oh, right here. When we go back to Stone City, Jesse James Ride, you know, you get your red dogs. And you get your red dogs from Damien and them too, through the Mayday stuff. I was looking for that dog Blondie, but I don't see her up there. That must be through JD side. But yeah, man, big salute to all them brothers, rocking all the pedigrees, all the bloodlines out there. Like I always say, no dog is better than the other dog. My dog is no different than your dog. We all love our dogs, man. Represent your dog. I can't help. I'm standing up for mine, and a lot of these brothers can't comprehend enough to stand up for theirs. They want to hate. You want to hate on them big giant dogs, and you want to hate on these dogs or them dogs. But a lot of y'all can't comprehend to get your shit together to even promote and advertise your dog. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna forever be stuck in the swamps while we out here stepping on you, like I say, making it to the other side without getting our feet dirty. You know what I'm saying? You making it easier for us. Just walk over, get the brothers that deserve to be out in the swamps, take them with us, clean your feet off, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We walking on top of these fools, and when you walk on top of them, you don't get your feet dirty, homie. We gonna make it to the other side. We gonna take our dogs. We gonna win these ribbons like my brother's doing. We gonna win these shows like my brother's doing, and we gonna keep advertising the positive like all of us doing when it comes to these dogs, man. Plain out and simple. Like I said, it ain't what you got, it's what you do with what you got. At the end of the day, I ain't seen a brother that went to the store and bought a firearm and it made him a assassin and it made him a bad person. You know, it ain't what you got, it's what you do with what you got, my brothers. You know, PBK9s, giving it to my brothers like I always do, man. All I'm trying to find out is them yellow dogs overrated. You know, plain out and simple. And please stop bringing Triple J name up in my comments, man. Please stop doing it. We ain't on the same level. He backyard, man. I'm doing something whole different on a whole different level, my brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So please stop that, man. I don't care about nothing he got going on. You know, we doing two different things. So if you want to mention him to make yourself feel relevant or make your community feel relevant in my comments or in my chat, that's cool. I understand all that, man. I understand all that. But like I said, we let the dogs do the damn talking around here, man. A lot of y'all brothers, you don't let the dogs do the talking. You know, let the dogs do that shit, man. You'll be all right. You know, although them RedBoy Jocko dogs may be overrated, it is what it is. When they touch the scene, they change the game. 40 years later, we still talking about them. You know, we still talking about them 40 years later. And one thing about it, you know, when it comes to the Red Boy Jocko dog, let me stand up for my line right now. You got so many famous Red Boy Jocko dogs out there. Yeah, you got a lot of famous Red Boy Jocko dogs. I'm talking about from the old days to the modern day times. But you ain't got a lot of famous, you ain't got a whole bunch of famous Eli dogs. Most of the famous Eli dogs is Mr. Boudreaux Eli dogs. Now, you got more famous Boils dogs than you got Eli dogs. A lot of them Boils dogs, they running them circuits and them confirmation shows. And then a lot of times it be a little bit of Eli splashed up in there. A lot of brothers have a little Eli splashed up in there. I'll be looking at different people that go to the shows and attend different events. You have your little Eli splashed up in there certain ways. But guess what? We bring them Red Boy Jocko dogs to the table. You know what I'm saying? That they're gonna give them Eli and them Boils dogs hell, you know, when it comes to them shows. And it's all part of competitive the competitive sport of the game, man. It's all part of enjoying your dogs in modern day time, doing the right things with these dogs, and just having fun, man. You know, brothers gonna be hating to see brothers just enjoying their dogs, and you ain't worried about uh the things that they worried about. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's a few things that I will ask for if you want to drop down in that chat. One is the question I asked: are the dogs overrated? And give your reason why you say they may be overrated. You know. Now, the next question you can drop down. You can drop a link down in the chat if you want. Give me a consistent family of yellow dogs without the mate in it. No mate in it, no Big John. A family of dogs that you can find easily, off directly off yellow, the living yellow, without the mate in it, without the Big John in it at all. Drop the link to the dog that's living right now today. Nothing else in it. No other dogs in it. All yellow. RedBoy Jocko. Either going back to Mr. Burns or Mr. Chavis. You can't have nothing else in it at all. Only thing we're gonna allow to be in it is Mayday with that Bolio stuff. Take Mayday out, take Big John out, give me all yellow. All RedBoy Jocko. Drop that link down in the chat. You know. And like I said, man, we just do the right things with these dogs. Stay on a positive note. Stay going forward. Y'all stay legal out there. Y'all stay safe out there. And remember where y'all got it from first, man. PBK9s giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. And we out.